where we talk about what's changed in social media and how you can keep up with the tips and tricks that are going to keep you relevant even as the channels change. Today I'm in KWSM Atlanta, live from our Atlanta office, and I'm here with content editor Brianna and content editor Audrey. And we will have a good discussion today on lots of interesting changes, and the first is Facebook. So Facebook, ladies, back in 2018 took down the disabled the view as public button. Right? Mm-hmm. You used to be able to push that and see your profile like the public would see it. Mm-hmm. They took it down. They said you're not going to be able to use that. And why did they do that, Audrey? Because they had a breach,
right?
Yeah,
they had a breach. So about 50 million accounts were hacked into. And so I think from what I understand, the hacker used that feature to kind of impersonate other people. And so they didn't want to chance it. So they just took it down. But it just came back this week.
It's back. Yeah, it's back. And, you know, I think it's useful if you're trying to edit your private details and keep it locked down. Then seeing it the way other people see it is useful. Mm-hmm. I like to make sure only my good pictures show, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. And then this is probably a response to Mark Zuckerberg trying to really lock down privacy on Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. He just had the F8 conference, and they say that he opened with the statement, the future is private.
Right, which is so funny because Facebook feels anything but private. It feels like
right.
Like all your information's out there, and so I think that's been a turnoff, and out of response, Facebook is trying to offer new ways to be transparent.
Well, it's not only that all your details are out there, it's that Facebook's listening to us and giving information to advertisers about what we're interested in, you know,
right.
and showing us things based on our behavior and our likes, and I don't think that's private at all, you know. It knows a lot about me. My entire feed is animal stories, so that's how I know. That's how I know they're watching. All right, so that's good. And then YouTube, which is sort of, so Facebook is sort of Facebook and Instagram, and then YouTube is owned by Google. Mm-hmm. And there's kind of a rivalry, right? Facebook and YouTube are constantly trying to one-up each other. And YouTube is now unveiling new ways for creators, content creators, to make money using the platform.
Right.
And this is all, it's all a little vague how this is going to work, right?
It is.
But here, talk about what they're doing now. They're putting shopping links in native videos.
So, okay, much like Facebook has F8, Google has their own conference, and because of the nature of YouTube, they do it as a live stream. It's called Marketing Live. And they just came out a week ago and talked about new ways that they're going to allow the creators to make money. So they're trying to get more people to choose YouTube as their platform, obviously.
Over Facebook.
Yeah, and to give them a reason to stay. And so formerly it had been anticipated that they were going to announce that you could have shoppable links in your description right underneath your video, and then you would click that and it would take you to that page. Well, they kind of surprised everyone by proposing a new feature on each video where you could shop while you watch the video, so you don't have to leave it. And so, yeah, they were pretty vague about it from what I understand, but I think from what I've gathered is it's going to show up in your video. So say that you're an influencer and you're talking about these hair products that you're using and this curling iron, and you're going to be able to link it right there. Kind of, they have some similar features like that currently, but none that are shoppable. So that'll be really great to keep creators creating.
Well, I think it's actually good for everybody, right? It's good for the creators because they're going to be able to keep people in their videos rather than linking off to go buy something. It's good for YouTube because you keep people watching videos longer on YouTube, right? And I'll be honest, it's good for me. I like to shop while I'm watching things online, right?
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for all those things.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they took a page from Instagram and Facebook.
Definitely.
Now that they have where you can shop in the post and you don't have to leave and it's all right there. Yeah. Just making shopping easier.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's always this big rivalry between YouTube and Facebook. And, oh, Facebook's doing shopping? Well, we'll do shopping, right? Facebook did live video? Okay, we're doing live video. You know? So, you know, it's good. There's room for everybody. I like both Facebook and YouTube. There's a place for both. And not only our personal lives, but in our marketing strategies for clients as well. A lot of those things play in. All right, and then our third update is from Instagram. And Instagram has two new features that I think are really interesting, both to see more analytics on your page. The first is that your likes, like the people who follow you, right? The people that like your pictures, will now be divided into two different camps. And they're going to call them new likes and earlier, right?
Yeah.
which is kind of a strange verb, tense, but
Right.
but okay.
Yeah, so right now, if you're familiar with Instagram, you can look at who likes it and you can see how long ago they liked it to a certain period of time, which is great. But what they wanted to do was allow people to scroll through and respond to everyone that liked it or network that way, and then if they put their phone down and went and did something and came back, they would only see people who have liked it since they last looked. So this is just a really great way for businesses to get to know their followers, kind of get to know, when. I think it forces them to pay attention to when they're liking. Is it immediate? Is it 5 hours later? When are you seeing that biggest chunk of new likes? So I think that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, it's interesting, the content, because you imagine when you put something up, you get the rash of likes right then, but that's not true. Some of our content gets more popular as the hashtags get traction, or people find it later on, they discover it. So that'll be interesting. New and earlier likes. So you'll be able
I'm
to
interested to see how that works because currently right now, when some people you follow like things, you see only, so I see on my timeline the same people, like my friends who like things, so you'll see how it kind of bolds those people. I'm interested to see how that will work. In addition to that, if maybe they'll get rid of that because I kind of don't like that, or if they'll keep it going. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Always new tweaks. And then another thing they're adding to the analytics is new data or a way of grouping your followers and unfollowers, right? So they're calling it growth, and you can see how many people followed your account and how many people unfollowed your account.
Yeah, and this is super helpful. I don't know about you guys. This is something I get requested by almost all of my clients. They they not only care how many new likes, but they're how many people unfollowed and where did they go?
And who is it?
Yeah, who is it? And so from the screenshot of what we've seen, it's a chart and it literally shows the whole month at one time, which is really great. And it has, here's your growth, but on the same chart, and here's when you unfollowed, so you can kind of line up, we gained 10 followers at the same time that we lost 5 on that day, or whatever. And so it's going to be really great for capturing overall growth. And of course, it is an insight, so it's only available if you have a business account, but right now they're showing it on the creator accounts. So, yeah, that's where it is right now.
So it hasn't rolled out to everybody yet.
Right, and not all businesses have the option right now to become a creator account, but that is something that is supposed to come available to everyone, even personal people. We looked into it one day last week. We tried to become creators.
Unsuccessfully?
Nope, wasn't available to us yet.
Well, one day we'll put that on our bucket list to become creators. But yeah, I think Instagram is always testing new things. They roll it out to a certain population. If it hits, then they roll it out wider.
Right.
So hopefully the growth button is coming to all of us so we can see those charts.
Right.
Because I know we use sometimes third-party apps to see unfollows and sort of track that, just to make it a lot easier. And I like the way over the past, let's say, year, Instagram analytics have actually become a lot more robust. There is a lot more information there. If you have the business account.
Right.
If you have the personal account, you're on your own, right?
Right.
It's funny, I was actually in the car with Brianna this morning, and I said, look at this person. It says they're a public figure on Instagram. I was like, this is not a public figure. This person has 200 likes, right? And she goes, oh, well, people do that so they can have the business account so they have the metrics. That's brilliant. Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, they just added a category called Just for Fun.
Oh.
Right.
So you can just for fun look at data if you want.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever done that outside of this job, but if you're really interested in data.
While we're talking about Instagram, this isn't really on the script for today, but can we talk about the thing you were telling me about this morning about people eating food?
ASMR.
You know what this is too?
Yes, actually one of my clients is going to be using it this week.
Oh.
They were very excited.
How timely. Okay, you explain what this thing is, and then you're going to tell us how your client is using it.
So
and I'm just going to sit here in shock about the whole thing.
I don't want to completely butcher what ASMR stands for, but I think it's auto sensory MR. The MR stands for something else. But basically it's where it originated from YouTube mukbangs where people just eat and talk to their viewers on YouTube. And it's
While they're eating?
While they're eating. So they eat and talk. It's almost like you kind of feel like you're hanging out with your friend, right? So you watch your favorite YouTuber, they're eating their food, maybe you're eating your food, and you guys are talking about TV and things like that, or not you guys are talking, they're talking. And then it kind of spiraled into this ASMR community of people who just like to hear weird sounds of people eating and crunching and things like that.
It's supposed to be therapy,
right?
Some people. I think it also has roots in that as well. So it's super. Some people love it.
I don't
And it's
even
not
like
all
to eat in
food.
front of people in person, much less like on my Instagram.
Yeah, so what a lot of people, it's really funny. I was searching for one of my clients today on YouTube just to see where they are, and all of their videos were third-party people who are trying to make it big in ASMR eating this product. And I was like, are you serious? I mean, just thousands and thousands of views and likes and comments on this thing. So I had
And are they tagging the product? Like, are they
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get in front? Okay.
They are. So actually, as part of my strategy this week, I'm featuring someone who was enjoying one of our clients' products.
And what type of product is this? Is this a cookie?
This is a cookie.
Okay, it's a cookie that we're talking
Try
about
not to
here.
give it away
Yeah.
who it is. But it's a cookie, and it's just these two teenagers. I happened to see them tag it a couple months ago, and I thought, my client's never going to go for this. They are, they're pretty traditional. They have a really great story of the American dream. And so I just brought it up. I said, hey, there's these two kids. They made this video where they each put in a headphone with a microphone, and then you just hear them dipping this cookie in whipped cream and crunching on it. And that's it for
The
60
whole
seconds.
video.
There's a 19-minute one of the same product I saw today.
Oh.
So I pitched it to...
19 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
I can eat one of those cookies,
They're
by the
very
way, in
long.
19 seconds.
Right.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And so I just put on there, I'm going to use it as a strategy and say, I hashtag ASMR because it does have this
Lots of
crazy huge following.
6.9
And I
million posts.
said, I'll send you a 10 if you'll make a video of you doing ASMR with this product. So we'll see how it goes. It blows my
The
mind.
world never ceases to amaze me.
Yes.
Like, I love those cookies just as much as the next person, but I don't need anybody listening to me eating them for 19 minutes.
Oh, but it's also how you touch the tin,
Mm-hmm.
how you open it, how you open the plastic.
Yeah, it's like no talking. It's just
Ladies,
like,
I don't want to go anywhere with this because, HR is going to walk in, but it seems very sensual. Like, is this a
it is
sexual
kind of,
thing?
yeah,
It has to do with that. Do you remember when the slime videos were huge?
right.
No, I'm
Similar
too
to
old
that.
for that.
That was like a month ago.
Oh,
was like a
then I'm too not hip for that.
It's like really similar in its
Yes,
in
it's ASMR
popularity.
too.
So yeah, that is a type of ASMR. So they kind of like took both ends of like the slime videos and the food videos and kind of put it into one. And people still really do like the slime videos, the foam videos.
People running things over.
Yeah.
That's very popular. It's
like the
very.
sticks.
But yeah, I know.
Well, I appreciate that we've taken this trend and turned it into a valuable thing for our
We
clients.
sure have.
That is what we do here at KWSM.
That's right.
No
We're
matter
relevant.
what people find to do on Instagram, we will somehow use it for our clients' benefit. And let's get back on script here because we have another thing to talk about with Instagram, which is hashtags. You mentioned that you were going to hashtag ASMR to get attention, and that's how Brianna and I found this list of pictures this morning. She goes, check this out. Hashtags are always a great way for people to discover new content and find things they wouldn't have known about otherwise. How can we as business owners or marketers up our hashtag game so that we're doing it properly and people can discover our content for
I think it's really recently, not necessarily like in too recently, but Instagram, now you're able to actually follow the hashtags as if they're actually in an account. So let's say I am really interested in ASMR and I want to follow every ASMR post that gets hashtagged ASMR. So I can actually now click that hashtag and it'll bring me to another page where I can actually follow that hashtag. So now it'll come down my feed along with the posts of the profiles that I follow. It'll come down my feed and I can then see, even if I don't follow that account. So if Audrey has hashtag ASMR and I don't follow her, it'll come down my timeline along with all the profiles that I follow. So that is a really, really good way to get in front of an audience that may not know you exist.
so it just mixes into my normal news feed.
Exactly.
So if you follow a hashtag that's that popular, aren't I flooding my news feed with a lot of those images now?
No, Instagram has their fancy algorithms, so they still are able to show you exactly, I guess, what you want to see, and based on exactly how popular that post is. So not all posts are created equal, of course. Some get more likes, some have they get more likes and more viewers on it.
More engagement, yeah.
Yeah, and more engagement. So with that, Instagram has their algorithm where they show people who are more likely to like it and more likely to be more interested in it. So they'll put it in front of, it'll go down maybe Katie's timeline because she likes way more ASMR with cookies in it opposed to me where I like spaghetti.
Or something.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And I think it's a really good thing. I know for me personally, sometimes I'll follow an account because I saw one thing they posted about a certain subject, and then they never really talk about it again. And so then I'm like, why am I following this person like 3 months later? And so for me, like, if I see someone who's wearing an all Target outfit, it's like I might follow them, but then they might only post, I don't know, Old Navy for the rest of the time, and I'm like, not really my thing. So it helps me to just be able to follow the hashtag Target Style, and then I feel like I'm following so many other people, but I'm only seeing the content I want. And then I don't have to sacrifice like that ratio of followers to following, which is part of our strategy here.
So if we have a business and we're marketing for them, it's important which hashtags you pick because you want to be topical about what people are going to follow, right? And you can get exposed to a lot of new people that way. What else is important, Brianna, for us to know?
I think that with hashtags, because hashtags have been around for quite a long time as far as social media is concerned, people may be kind of, people might think that they're less effective now, or, you know, as with all the changes and things like that. I still think that hashtags are really extremely important, and they're really effective, and they're a really great way for people to find you and your content and get eyes on it, because that's, at the end of the day, what you want to do.
I like to think of hashtags as like putting your content in a bucket. Like I'm putting it in the social media bucket, and this is about the agency life bucket, and you know, the Facebook bucket, so that when people search those buckets, my content's in there ready to be discovered.
Right.
But I think that's also why you have to choose the hashtags carefully, because some of those buckets, like ASMR,
it's getting flooded.
Yeah, get full really fast, right? Because a lot of people hashtag and a lot of new content goes in there. So even though you're using the most popular hashtags, nobody sees your stuff because this new stuff just goes on top of it all the time. So sometimes I think it's better strategy to choose ones that are a little less popular so that there's still plenty of traffic, but you stay in the bucket or the top of the bucket longer so that people see.
I agree.
You know, I bring my dog to work frequently, and hashtagging dogs at work is a big bucket, too many things, but hashtagging Pipples of Instagram or Pipples at work is a lot smaller, right? And so that helps me stay at the top of the bucket longer. More people discover it. So I think there's a strategy there. And let's talk about how many hashtags you should use, because this is a point of discussion, debate around here. So Instagram, it's in this article we just wrote. Do you guys remember? Instagram says there's a best practices for how many hashtags. Anybody want to guess?
I just wrote this. I want to say it's 7?
Higher.
I think it's higher. Isn't it like 19?
Lower.
I don't know.
9. 9.
I knew it had a
I knew it was like 7 or 9. Those are like.
So Instagram says that 9 posts or 9 hashtags get the most engagement. I don't know if that's true or not true, but that's what they say, that you need 9. Although they say that at least one hashtag on your content will get you 12% more engagement.
Right.
9 is supposed to be the sweet spot. However, they allow up to 30. So I find that the more buckets I get into, sometimes the better. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I definitely agree. As long as I know a lot of people do the ... or like the line and then kind of separate it from the caption. I think that looks better, and I think that that's a really effective way to put your hashtags in there.
Well, I think that's where the engagement comes in, because if you're not doing that and you're putting 30 hashtags just as part of your caption, then when people scroll in a newsfeed, it looks too crowded and nobody's going to stop and read it.
I agree.
So maybe they're saying 9 is okay as part of that. But I think you're right. If you separate it with the dots, or even sometimes I put a separate comment on my post with all the hashtags in it, and I think you can do more there, because nobody's confusing it with the caption itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth. I think sometimes less is really the best, especially when I know that people might be following that content specifically. Like if they're following a hashtag Target Style, and then I look at that picture and they're also trying to get, I don't know, people who are interested in like DIY moms. If that's a hashtag on that same post, I'm like, okay, like, I don't know, like maybe we don't have the same likes or interests, so I'm not going to follow them. And so, I don't know, I think that there is kind of an art to figuring out your number.
But I also think it matters that they're all relevant, right?
Yeah,
like they all have to relate to whatever it is you're doing there.
Right.
Because sometimes I see people that are just hashtagging to have as many hashtags as possible, and that's never going to be a good idea.
Not a good look on anyone.
No. All right. Well, good. We'll up our hashtag game. Try a few of those tips. And then one thing we wanted wanted to talk about before we left you today was that we do social media for all kinds of clients, and I think it's important to talk about different strategies as they relate to different industries. So we picked real estate. A lot of realtors out there trying to do social media. When we have our social media boot camp classes, a lot of realtors show up for those classes. So we've sort of culled some best practices for realtors or real estate companies. Let's chat about those. First of all, let's talk about the channels that we see realtors use most of all. Because, you know, everybody knows that the way to pick your channels are, number one, where's your audience going to be, right? Channels have different demographics, so where are the people you're trying to reach going to be hanging out? And then also, I think it's important to talk about what kind of content do you have to share, right? If you don't have a lot of visual content, you don't use Instagram, right? If you don't share a lot of links or whatever, maybe Twitter's not great for you, right? So like, what do you have to share and where does that fit? So we find a few things for realtors. Audrey, what are the most popular channels there?
In this order, I would say probably Facebook. Maybe not in this order. It just depends. Facebook and Instagram as far as like true social media platforms, but then blogs are just priceless for realtors, and a lot of the content that goes into Facebook and Instagram is fed through the blog. You want people to go back to your page and see you as the resource, so that's what I use for my client.
Yeah, no, I think those are good. So Facebook is good because it's the widest audience, right? And that demographic in the 40 to 50 range mostly tends to be good home buying audience.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people that are a lot of realtors that are trying to work with millennials or first time home buyers, Instagram is probably a good choice because those are a little younger. And then of course it's visual content. You have beautiful houses, so that's great on Instagram.
Yes.
But I agree with what you're saying about the blog because I think blogging is a really, in my opinion, underestimated part of a lot of social strategies. Putting that great content out there, having people click on it and pull them right back to the website to read that article.
Right.
Because now they can look at your latest listings, they can check out your history and your credibility there.
Right.
I also think if we had to pick another one, I'm going to tack on and say a newsletter. Because if you've got great blog posts, putting them in a newsletter and proactively getting them out to your audience, maybe with your latest listings, maybe with an open house announcement, pushing that content out to them via email can be really, really helpful as a delivery mechanism for that content you're creating.
Yeah, I think so too. And I know this is one thing. I have a client that does real estate, and she's really, really great. And she's been really trusting with some of the strategy I've tried to implement, especially recently.
Shout out if you're watching.
Shout out if you're watching, you know who you are. But one thing I've tried to remember is that sometimes real estate is like going to Disney World, and go with me here. Okay. So when I go to Disney World, or I know I'm going to go, I live in Atlanta, so I'm not frequent. I wish I was. But I, get ready for my trip. I put the app on my phone. I use that app so much while I'm there. And 2 weeks later, I get home and I delete it because I don't have a need for it. And I think I see that with some of our clients that do real estate because, you're looking for a house, you look at all these realtors, you find the one that's going to get you your dream home, you follow them, you find your house, you buy your house, and then do you have a need for them? And so one thing that me and my client brainstormed together was we wanted to be a resource for all the communities that she's selling in. So if I buy a house in Dunwoody, which is local to where we are right now, her followers are going to keep coming back if she's going to tell them when Food Truck Thursday is. It's on Thursdays.
Got that one.
Or traffic, what they can expect, which roads are closing or whatever. And so we've seen some progress in just kind of having her followers think of her as a full resource. And so that's been a great place in the blog to kind of have those moments that people can go to, or if they're just doing a Google search and they're like, how do I tidy up my home before, I sell it, before someone comes to take pictures? So
I think it's not only serving those that are looking to buy or sell, but also serving the residents of the community you serve, right?
Right.
Most realtors have a farm, an area they work, and really being somebody in the know and a resource of things happening in that area, right? Whether it's events or festivals. I think that is a great way to do content. Let's talk about other types of content, like things that would be valuable for your followers, because I think a content calendar, we say to our realtor clients, you need to post every day, and they go, I don't have anything to post. Maybe I have a new listing once a week or once every few weeks. There's lots of other stuff you could be posting in the meantime. So we'll just have a round robin. One of my favorite things is team bios. You know, most real estate offices have a team, and like alternate through the different realtors on that team and tell us a little bit about them and, you know, how they got into the business and maybe what their accomplishments are recently. I think that human aspect and that getting to know, like, and trust the team is really powerful.
Yeah.
Because real estate is so much about working with a person, right? You don't hire a real estate company. I don't care what company they work for. I hire a realtor, right? And that realtor is going to help me sell my house, help me buy a house. It's a personal relationship, and that human aspect, I think, is really, really important.
I agree. I really think that those that the neighborhood guides and just like you said, Audrey, talking about the community and things outside of making all your posts salesy about, look at this amazing house we have. Like, we understand that you're a realtor and that is what you do. You have a lot of houses. You have houses with really great things, but that shouldn't be the only content that you should be pushing, you know, for your viewers. I think that talking about, like you said, making your client a resource for, you know, you're going to tell me where all the great neighborhoods are that have, you know, for maybe this type of lifestyle, or, you know, or things I might be interested in here. So things that are going on in the community and things that are going on in the neighborhoods, I think that that's really important to have that kind of content as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we use this strategy with most of our clients, but testimonials, there's nothing better.
No brainer.
Like, we can't produce the success stories of your customers, and their word of mouth, I think, is the best form of marketing still.
Right.
So that's something that we always communicate, and I know even in my meeting today, they were brainstorming, well, maybe, you know, at the closing, we'll start getting videos of them in front of the house talking about how they, you know, how happy they were, whatever. And I was like, yes, send me that. That is gold.
Yes, absolutely. I think another thing that realtors have is the market, right?
Oh,
People want to understand the market. They want to understand what the housing market's doing, up, down, should I buy, should I sell, how are the prices? And you have all these stats that you can communicate to your audience in a approachable way, whether it's through a short video talking about what the market's doing, whether it's graphics you create for a market update every week. I think those are really important things to share, to be a resource too. If I am in the market to buy or sell, I'm going to want that information. And if I get it from you, you'll keep me engaged longer.
Yeah. I think so too. We also talked about open houses. It's just a really great way to hit a lot of people at once, to say like, hey, this is open maybe in, I don't know, in Orange County, in this neighborhood, like, we're gonna have an open house, feel free to stop by. It's a great way to get a lot of people interested. It's something that they can share onto their page, or maybe they're like, hey, Mark, I know you were looking for a house in this neighborhood. This is open on Sunday. So it's a great way to also just kind of have some free marketing.
Open houses and new listings, I guess, is a no-brainer, right? You're going to put those up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so hopefully those help. And we'll just mention one more thing we really like for realtors, and that's Facebook ads. Definitely. We do a lot of ads for realtors, whether it's advertising a specific house or talking about something the team won an accolade of some sort. So those are things you might want to look into if you're in real estate. We'll try to pick another industry next week. We'll be back here at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern Time next Tuesday to do the same thing. In the meantime, if you need any resources, you can check out our blog. We blog every day at KWSMdigital.com. You can check out our YouTube channel where you'll find past episodes of this show. The YouTube is KWSM Team. And if you have questions you want us to answer or topics you'd like to suggest, email us. It's KWSMdigital.com. And then one more thing I'll tell you, June is boot camp month. We teach the social media boot camp 3 times a year. It happens in June, Fridays in our office in Orange County, California. If you are not in Orange County, you're welcome to live stream in and watch the classes live via video conferencing. So go to the workshops page on our website and you'll find more information. And in the meantime, have a good week and we'll talk to you soon.